What's happening, y'all? This is Andrew from Mirror Music. I'm coming back to do another reaction of NAS's Magic. Today's is Meet Joe Black, which I think I read at some point was a euphemism for meeting your maker or meeting the end of your life. Maybe I'm wrong about that, but I feel like I read that somewhere. So first of all, tell me if I'm wrong about that. But I remember really liking the song the first time I heard it, but it's been a while since I've listened to it. So let's listen to it and see what we got. That's that horn, whatever, is not a wrestling intro, but like that kind of walk-up music, right? It's that kind of lead-in music that you're like, here comes the king or something like that, which is kind of probably the implication here. Here comes the king. Drop that beat in there. That's another one of those gritty beats.
Why would I ever have to cop a chain again when the QB chain birthed most of chains in the game? No post.
Listen to how many times and how many different ways he uses chain. He uses chain like chain here. He uses chain like a chain gang. He used it 2 or 3 other ways too. Hold on, let's go back. Is that going back? No. Let's try it again.
But chain again when the QB chain birthed most of chains in the game. No post office, we stamping time. Took a slice out of the big apple, made apple pies. Family size, leather bombers and Nike Sacai's. Dangerous corners, you better pray that tomorrow arrive. Rap, Sugar Ray Robinson, nothing sweet. Y'all too out of.
And there, okay, so that is intentional, like walk-up music sounding thing, because he's calling himself Sugar Ray Robinson, who was, if you don't know, I assume most people watching this would know this, but was regularly cited as one of the best pound for pound fighters that's ever lived. So another appropriate metaphor for Nas here.
Shape to even box with me. Heavyweight, I know my way around the ring.
Heavyweight, too.
Just like Shorty know her way around the storm. Making hits with Hit Boy, only gotta do is hit record. Record breaking news, had to show up just to fill a.
Man, there's this may have to be a double reaction. I may have to go back and listen to it again and talk my way through it again, because there's so much going on here. I mean, he's talking about his run with Hit Boy. This was the 3rd, right? You have KD1, KD2, then this one, and then KD3, I think, right? Correct me if I'm wrong about that. But yeah, there's so much going on here. I mean, he's talking about plus record. This is a record. Man.
Confused, spoiled little boys, y'all better keep your poise. Leave me out of the weasel shit. Be cool when you see me, I'm hot at all that rap deep as shit. The hood know you pussy, so we don't borrow, believe in it. Locked in on the instrumental, I took back the key to this.
I took back to the key to this. So, I mean, this is boxer talk. This is almost like, not in-ring things, but like where they do the weigh-ins, I guess, where he's talking to all of his other competitors, right? Or specific competitors, and telling them how much better he is than them. But yeah, you guys are going to have to help me break down these lyrics in the comments, because I know I'm missing things.
Run me the keys, run me the bees, run me that flow back. Your top 3, I'm not number 1, how could you post that? I would have proud the city is mine, you cannot hold that. I'm not the one to go at, you fuck around, meet Joe Black.
Yeah, so Meet Joe Black does appear to be a euphemism, at least, for having your life taken from you. Not in a literal sense, obviously, but in like a hip-hop sense, in a sense that you are not on his level. I mean, he even says it in the hook, right? That you say, I'm top 3, not number 1. How could you post that? Like, that's not he says that's not a real thing, or you shouldn't do that, because one would assume he's saying he's number 1, which I would tend to agree with as well. But yeah, the flow also in that hook, it's that's almost like it's over just a boom boom boom, right? Just normal beat, a gritty New York style beat, I guess, is what I've been taught that is. Correct me if I'm wrong about that. But the flow over it gives it a whole new dimension, right? I mean, the keys, like that. It's almost like somebody hitting a snare, right? I mean, it's that kind of feel to it. So that's one of those special things about Nas, right? I mean, that he can take the same beat and give you 4, 5, 6 different flows in the same song and make it all work together seamlessly.
Run me the keys, run me the bees, run me that flow back. What I'm saying, top 3, I'm not number 1. How could you post that? I want a crowd, the city is mine, you cannot hold that. I'm not the one to go back. You fuck around me, Joe Black. What I'm saying, people saying what's already been said.
Well, he jumped right back into that verse too. Usually you have a beat and a drop or whatever. He just dropped like straight. He almost jumped the beat, not really, but he jumped the beat that you would normally expect him to come in on, right? He came in like one early, the way the song is set up. So it feels like it gives you lots of those kind of boxing images, right? He is not jumping the bell, but he's getting after somebody like right at the beginning, right? He's coming right in on them. Yeah.
Predictions, I don't listen, it's already in my head, no funny shit. Your most hungry place, I was past that at 28. Underground tapes, as my ass captain publishes states. As we slide in the G-Ride, I've been getting criticized, it's keeping me energized. Create with a business mind, I'm from where killers reside. A wild hood only.
Man, like, you create with a business mind, I'm from where killers reside. And he means that literally, obviously, I think. I mean, from what I understand about his personal history, but also he means hip-hop killers too, right? Like that kind of he comes from obviously a deep hip-hop lineage from Queensbridge as well, so it has that double meaning going on as well.
Niggas say anything in their raps because it sound good. Don't even mean what they say, horrible outlook. Y'all ain't really.
Yeah, and he's coming in hard on. It was hard for me, at least until now, to tell who the target was here, but he's talking about people who are not speaking about things that are true to their own lived experience, right? You have fake people, and I think from what I've heard of his music, that is one of the most serious crimes you can commit, as not only as an MC but as an artist generally. And I was talking about this actually in the Jason Isbell video that I just did as well, that came out a couple days ago, that country music a lot of the time, at least in the modern world, is very cheesy and formulaic and doesn't really speak to the truth of people's lives. And Jason Isbell's music does speak to the truth of people's lives, I believe. So I think that's one of, to me anyway, what hits home to me, not just with music, but all art really, is especially in storytelling songs where the art speaks about the truth of somebody's life and lived experience. And I think that always connects in a way that other kinds of fake stuff doesn't really.
About this house niggas, y'all was in the house with it. We don't respect fake jewelry and silly outfits. Window down, blowing out kush, great tits. New York's J. Prince on Houston Street. I caught the bounce before my nigga even bounced the beat. I took the hard way in the shit, man. It's the
Hold on.
hard way into my nigga even bounced my. I was on Houston Street. I caught the bounce before my nigga even bounced the beat.
I caught the bounce before my person even bounced the beat, right? Like that's so good. And that's another example of him using the word bounce 2 different ways as well. I love this hook so much. This might be one of the best hooks he's ever done, in my opinion.
I'm not the one to go back. You fuck around me, Joe Black. Run me the keys, run me the bees, run me that flow back. Your top 3, I'm not number 1. How could you post that? I want the crowd, the city is mine. You cannot hold that. I'm not the one to go back. You fuck
So
around me,
good.
Joe Black. Why would I ever have to cop a chain again when the QB chain birthed most of the chains in the game?
Hold up. I'm going to have to go look up what that lyric is. I mean, I know all of his lyrics are important, but it's especially, why would I ever have to cop a chain again when the QB chain birthed most of the chains in the game? No post office was doing it. Yeah. Why would I ever have to cop a chain again when the QB chain birthed most of the chains in the game? So is the QB he's talking? Oh, Queensbridge. Duh. I was like, he's talking about quarterbacks, really? Why? What does that make sense? But he's talking about Queensbridge. Okay. So he doesn't. He's saying that it's a part of the lineage argument, then, right? Like he comes from a long lineage of people from Queensbridge that have not run hip hop necessarily, but have been some of the greatest speakers in the history of the genre. And he's saying, so like he doesn't have to cop a chain, like he doesn't have to. To me, this maybe I'm misinterpreting this because I do not have the correct perspective. But so help me out if I'm wrong, please. But he's saying like he doesn't have to show off really in the same way that maybe some younger people do because he's already proven himself, right? He's also playing with the most chains in the game. Most chains in the game is also playing orally, like with your ear, with the phrase "chain gang" too. So he's playing with all of those sounds as well, which is super super cool. I think you're just playing beats out now, right?
Why would I? For real talk, the nigga who killed hip hop for real is Nas, dog. That nigga killed hip hop. Hip hop is good. That nigga ain't told everybody about it. He came out publicly and said hip hop is dead.
That's an interesting metaphor. I mean, who was that? First of all, tell me who's that talking at the end of that. I mean, that's from an interview or something like that, I guess. But tell me who that is in that interview there. But I mean, obviously Nas has a record called "Hip Hop Is Dead," but he's also bringing it. I guess he's playing with the death and life metaphors here too, right? You have the Meet Joe Black. I mean, I'm going to end you if you try to come at me. I mean, it's that kind of. And again, he means that metaphorically in a hip hop sense, not in a literal sense. But so he's playing with the death and life, and I love that because the outro spoken word part right there gives you the hip hop is dead, and he's almost bringing it back to life, right? Again, many people have said that this album, Magic, is like a resuscitation of his Illmatic kind of flow, right? So, or it's that kind of style of rap, and so he's bringing that back to life. Was that 27 years later? 2021, 94. Am I doing the math right? I think that's right. He's bringing it back to life too. So, yeah, it's a great song. Again, I think it's, I'm sure many people will disagree with me in the comments. I think this is one of the best hooks he's done. Again, I'm not as familiar with his discography as most of you listening probably are. So, if there are other ones that I need to listen to compare, please tell me, and I will see y'all next time. Take care, y'all.